All right, this one right here. This is the type of debate that actually splits the eFootball community in half. Because on one side, you've got a literal skyscraper, a man designed in a lab to win headers. And on the other side, you've got one of the most complete strikers Konami has ever dropped with the same deadly skill. So the real question is simple. Who is the best bullet header striker in eFootball? Is it the 202 centimeters giant Jan Koller? Or is it the all-round monster Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Yeah, this is about to get serious. Because at first glance, you might think this is obvious. You see Koller, 202 centimeters, 94 heading, 94 physical contact, bullet header, and you're like, yeah, it's him. Debate over. But this is eFootball. Nothing is ever that simple. Let's actually break this down properly. Starting with Koller. This guy is not just tall. He's unfair. 202 centimeters in this game feels ridiculous. You cross the ball into the box, and he doesn't just jump. He dominates. Add 94 heading plus bullet header, and now every aerial duel becomes a potential goal. And don't forget aerial superiority as well. So he's not just tall, he's built to win those battles. And then there's his physical presence. 94 physical contact. Defenders are not pushing him off the ball easily. He's literally bullying center backs. So in pure aerial situations, Koller is a nightmare. But here's where things get interesting. Because football is not just about headers. And that's where his weaknesses start showing. Look at his ball control, 78. Dribbling, 75. Tight possession, 75. That's heavy. That's clunky. That's the type of striker where you receive the ball and immediately feel pressure because you know he's not turning quickly. Speed, 83. Acceleration, 82. So now you've got a striker who is slow, not agile, and relies heavily on crosses. And then his playstyle, target man. This is very important. He's not constantly running behind defenses. He drops, holds up play, waits for support. So if you're expecting him to always be in the perfect position for crosses automatically, sometimes he won't be. You have to force the game through him. Now, don't get it wrong. If you build your entire playstyle around crossing, he is insane. But that's the key word, if. Now let's switch to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And this is where the debate flips, because Zlatan is not just a header merchant. Yes, he has bullet header. Yes, he has 87 heading. Yes, he has 90 jump plus 91 physical contact, so he's still very good in the air. But here's the difference. He can do everything else. Ball control, 87. Dribbling, 87. Tight possession, 87. Already, you can feel the difference. He's smoother. He's more responsive. You can actually turn with him, shield the ball, create space. Speed, 90. Acceleration, 94. So now he's not just standing in the box waiting. He can actually run in behind, attack space, make dangerous movements. And then his finishing, 95 with phenomenal finishing. Yeah, this is where it gets unfair. Because with Zlatan, you don't need a cross to score. You can shoot from anywhere in the box, and he's converting chances consistently. And his playstyle, fox in the box. That means constant attacking movement. He's always trying to get into scoring positions. Always active in the box, always dangerous. So now let's really compare them properly. In terms of pure heading ability, Koller wins. No debate. He's taller, stronger in the air, better heading stat, and literally built for that purpose. If your only goal is to score headers, Koller is your guy. But now ask yourself this. How often do you actually score headers in eFootball? Exactly. It's not every attack. It's not every game. Sometimes you go multiple matches without even getting a proper crossing opportunity. And that's where Zlatan destroys this comparison. Because while Koller is waiting for crosses, Zlatan is scoring goals. Through balls, Zlatan. Quick turns in the box, Zlatan. Long shots, Zlatan. Counterattacks, Zlatan. Physical battles, both are strong. But Zlatan is more versatile in those situations. And then there's consistency. Koller is a situational monster. Zlatan is an every match threat. Now let's talk about player skills again, because this matters a lot. Koller has bullet header plus willpower. Now willpower is actually very interesting. The more he shoots, the better his shooting becomes during the match. So over time, he becomes more dangerous. But here's the issue. You need him to actually get shots off consistently for that to matter. And with his lack of speed and dribbling, that's not always easy. Now, Zlatan, bullet header plus phenomenal finishing. That's deadly. Because even if the header doesn't happen, he's still lethal. That's the key difference. Koller depends on one system. Zlatan adapts to any system. And this is where most people get it wrong. They see Koller's height and think, this is broken. But broken only works if the gameplay supports it. If your opponent is good at defending crosses, if they press you, if they cut your wings off, Koller becomes invisible. But Zlatan? He doesn't disappear. He finds a way. That's what makes him elite. Now let's be fair for a second, because Koller does have a role. If you're the type of player who loves crossing, if you run formations with strong wingers, if you constantly send balls into the box, if you want a late-game super sub to destroy tired defenders, Koller might actually be more effective for you, because in that specific system, he's unstoppable. But outside of that, he struggles. And that's why this debate is actually not close for most players, because most people don't build their entire gameplay around crossing. They need flexibility, they need reliability, they need a striker who can do everything. And that's Zlatan. So now let's answer the question, who is the best bullet header striker in eFootball? If we're talking pure heading, Koller. If we're talking overall impact, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And it's not even close. Because at the end of the day, the best player is not the one who does one thing perfectly. It's the one who gives you multiple ways to win. And Zlatan does exactly that. He's a striker, a finisher, a target, a runner, a playmaker when needed. Koller, he's a weapon. Zlatan, he's the whole arsenal. So yeah, like if you just want to bully defenders in the air, go for Koller. But if you actually want to win consistently, if you want a striker that performs every single match, if you want someone who doesn't depend on one playstyle, then the debate is over. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the better bullet header striker in eFootball.